Okay, so here we go. I thought I was going to be able to play some music on this live video, but it's not going to work. So we're just going to stand at the front of our mat, placing our feet, bringing our awareness in, having some intention about our practice today. And we're going to start by rising, reverse swan arms up above our head and forward folding. Adjusting our body as we see fit. For me, I needed to widen my stance. And on the next inhale, rising back up into seated position. Now rising all the way up with swan arms, bringing our hands into prayer position. Again, sweeping our arms by our feet, rising up into seated position, holding here for a breath or two. Always readjusting and adjusting, making sure our pinky fingers are straight ahead, and now forward folding. Bringing our hands out in front of us, moving into downward dog, adjusting the body as it needs, loosening the ankles and the arms and the shoulders, pedaling the feet back and forth. On the next in-breath, rolling up slowly vertebrae by vertebrae into upward facing dog position. Holding here for a breath and then moving back through into downward facing dog. And again with downward facing dog, we're always adjusting and readjusting the body as it needs. And on the next in-breath, we move into plank position, chaturanga, and up into upward facing dog. On the next inhale, rising up, bringing our right foot forward and cartwheeling our hands into warrior 2. Holding here for a few breaths. And when you're ready, reaching back into crescent position and forward angle position. Always remembering to look up towards the sky, back into crescent, and forward angle position. And when you're ready, moving from warrior 1 into plank, switching sides, left leg in front in between the legs, cartwheeling the hands open into warrior 2. Allowing that cosmic energy to come in, and on the next in-breath, rising back into half crescent and reversing forward up into forward angle position. Holding here, and on the next in-breath, reversing back half crescent, and one more time on the next in-breath, moving forward into half angle position. Really creating a strong foundation and base here through the legs, not putting a lot of pressure on that knee. Rising back up into warrior 1 and moving through, placing our hands by our feet and adjusting our hips as we see fit. Holding here for just a breath, adjusting the feet, and now we start our knee to elbow, side, hold, side, hold, side, hold, side, hold. Rising up into downward dog as a resting position, giving your arms a small break here. We're going to roll ourselves adjusting the hips and the ankles, the feet. And taking our right foot, placing it behind the left and opening up the side body. The right side body, excuse me. Opening, kind of twisting up towards the sky. And now on the next in-breath, switching sides and taking our left side foot and placing it behind the right, bending the right knee and opening up the left side body. When you're ready, moving back into downward facing dog position and slowly rolling your body up into upward push up all the way through to upward facing dog. Now, this time, relax your feet. Give yourself a nice stretch. Bending the toes back under. Moving into chaturanga and upward facing dog again. Holding in plank for 1 minute. And then moving through, taking your right foot forward in between both of your hands. And then opening the right hip up by placing both hands inside the right leg. This is a very great hip opening position. Switching sides now. Placing the left foot up by your hands and putting both hands in between the left knee. This feels so good. It's a variation of low lunge and pigeon. Moving into warrior one, adjusting and reestablishing foundation, using airplane arms, leaning forward with the heart and reaching back with the elbows. You want your hips to be aligned here, as you can see. And you want to adjust your shoulders, roll them back, release the tongue from the top of your mouth. And reaching up into warrior one for just a second and moving through twisting low lunge, the variation of prayer hands, rising back up, warrior one, placing your hands on the ground, adjusting your feet and switching sides. Now the right leg is up in low lunge, warrior one, rising up with our arms, adjusting, pulling back into airplane arms, again, adjusting the shoulders, reaching forward with the heart, holding the foundation with our legs, squeezing our thighs together. This is a great full body excursion. Bringing our hands into prayer and twisting at the top. Mid part of the spine, looking up to the sky. Another variation is placing your hand on the outside part of the right bent knee and lifting up, or the inside of the knee is another. This will give you more of a stretch in the spine. Elongating the spine, again, holding close the thighs, putting your awareness in the balls of your feet, and stepping forward into forward fold. Keeping your knees bent just slightly. This is what I refer to as keeping your knees soft. Placing your hands in a tent fashion in front of your feet and moving into a forward fold. We rest here for just a moment. If you need more of a stretch, you can place your hands behind your feet and hold here. Now reverse swan arms, moving into seated position, making sure our pinkies are twisting towards our heart and reaching out, as if someone is pulling us down and pulling us up at the same time. Standing up, forward fold, breath in, heart open, halfway lift. Fold back over on the exhale. Forward fold and then moving into up, halfway lift, and again folding. Forward fold. Reverse swan arms, moving into seated position and really always paying attention to the balls of our feet and moving back onto our heels for seated position. Awareness matters. Forward fold. The next exhale, again, keeping your knees soft. And leaning slightly forward as if you can hang, adjusting your neck, looking back over the opposite way. Grab each elbow and hang in ragdoll for just a minute here. This should feel very good on the lower back and the hamstrings. And when you're ready, tenting the hands out and adjusting, keeping the right knee bent and reaching back, stepping back with the left leg, lying it flat on the ground, keeping your hips aligned in a straight fashion. This is a great hip opener, pigeon pose. Reaching forward with your heart, lying your arms down in dolphin, half pigeon, heart forward. Take some breaths. Adjusting your toes to lift up, adjusting your hands back by your knees, reaching up, adjusting your legs back into half downward dog, and switching sides, pigeon. The further up your foot is, the more of a stretch and hip opener you'll get. The more back it is, the less it will be a stretch for you. So adjust as you see fit. Resting down in pigeon, relaxing the elongated back right leg, and adjusting the foot as you see fit, allowing the whole body to move forward into dolphin in the front and reaching forward with the heart. Again, take a breath. And don't forget to smile. Smile's really important, especially when you're doing yoga. And on your next in-breath, adjust your toes, move your hands under your shoulders, pressing down into the mat. Push your body back into downward facing dog. And again, always adjusting and readjusting for your body. Every body is different, and we all need to pay attention to that. And now, holding your body nice and strong, adjusting your left arm under your shoulders and twisting back. This is a variation. This is also a variation. This is an extended, more advanced yogi pose. Half side plank. On your next breath, adjust back into forward upward push-up position, and then allowing the right shoulder and wrist and elbow to be aligned, and pressing back into side angle pose, opposite side. Hold here for 2 breaths. And when you're ready, cartwheel your hand down by the other one. Hold yourself up, nice and strong, and press back into downward facing dog position. And when you're ready, taking your right foot, extending out through the heel, pressing down with your shoulders, pressing up. Lift your right leg all the way up. Hold it there for just a minute. And when you're ready, bring it in, and we're going to do some hip openers. 6 circles, hip openers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, going the opposite way. There we go. Twisting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There you go. Meet both feet on the floor and bend your knees. Give yourself a break, sitting back on your knees, which is kind of difficult for me, so I go as much as I can. This allows my arms to have just a small break. And reaching down, half dolphin, half tabletop. Resting for just a minute. And when you're ready, bending your toes under, pressing back up into downward facing dog, nice slow and methodically. And taking your left leg, reaching out through your heel, pressing up into three-legged dog. Excuse me, stumbling on all those words. Lifting back up, holding it, and when you're ready, bending your knee and doing hip openers. 6 on going both ways. 5 and 6. Good. Switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And when you're ready, bringing your knees down to the floor and slowly rolling up vertebra by vertebra. This should feel so good. Reverse swan arms up above your head, holding here and opening up the side body, grabbing the left wrist should grab the right wrist, and then the right wrist should grab the left wrist. opening up the side bodies in kneeling position. This should feel so good. And when you're ready, open up that big bubble of energy by using your goalpost arms. Rising back up and pulling into goalpost arms. Good. Your heart should be pumping. And when you're ready, sweeping your arms back up around the body and pulling the elbows down into goalpost arms. And on your next exhale, open one side of the body while rising the arms up above the head and just kind of lean into that knee. Your knee is going to be at like a 90-degree angle almost. Or should I say 45-degree angle, I guess, from the body. And your arms will be in eagle arms here. Reaching back, bending at the upper torso. Hold here. When you're ready, releasing the arms. Bending forward, placing arms on the mat, and switching sides. Extending the opposite leg at a 45-degree angle, rising your arms up above your head and placing them in eagle pose. You're going to be bending your upper torso back, taking a few breaths here. When you're ready, opening up into eagle, dropping forward, placing your hands on the mat and adjusting your knees. Now, take your body into seated position onto the mat, and we're going to move into boat pose. But first, sit and pull the flesh out from underneath you. Sitting up straight, keeping your spine nice and erect. Roll your neck side to side, slow and methodically. With yoga, there is no race. It's about tuning into all the small nuances about your personal body. The neck and shoulders hold a lot of tension, and it's really important we pay attention to them. And when you're ready, leaning back, adjusting your arms and legs into boat position. This is boat position. Here's a more extended boat position for a more advanced yogi, lifting the legs straight up and creating a V with the body and the legs, keeping the arms at a perpendicular place above the mat. A parallel place above the mat. Holding here for several breaths, squeezing your belly button to your spine. And when you're ready, bending your knees and dropping your feet to the floor. Again, adjusting your spine so that it is fully erect and paying attention to the neck and shoulders. Rolling the head several times. Adjusting the body, adjusting the flesh out from underneath the sits bones, and leaning back just slightly, rising back up into boat position. Again, take several breaths. And don't forget to smile. Pulling back, dropping the feet down, lowering your torso down to the mat, vertebra by vertebra. But this time, actually, we're going to scoot down to the end of the mat so that we can roll back nice and slow and rise our legs straight up in a perpendicular shape from the mat. And now, rising your arms up, just release your arms above your head. And if it's more comfortable, adjust them into goalpost arms. This is a very relaxing, very stimulating position for the calming system. When you're ready, releasing your knees and rolling up and over, supporting the lower body into plow position and adjusting the body as you see fit. If your toes cannot touch, an option is to use a bolster where the toes do touch so that you're not having to bend all the way back. Now your arms might be out on the sides of your body. You want to bring your arms into the mat. And if you're ready, you can take your hands and interlace them and then adjust your shoulders. Hold here for up to 4 minutes. Your spine should be nice and straight. When you're ready, taking one leg straight up, holding it here for just a minute, keeping the legs in a 90-degree angle, lifting the body up off the ground, and then relaxing back into plow. Switching sides, rising your left foot up, holding your legs in a 90-degree angle above the body, supporting the body with your arms extended out, and rising both feet up to touch and then back over into plow. Hold here for a couple breaths. And when you're ready, taking the right leg, bending the knee, taking the left leg, bending the knee, pulling them up above the head, and slowly, in a supported fashion, supporting your body, lowering your body vertebrae by vertebrae back down to the mat until the feet hit the mat. And now, use your arms, raise them up as you're laying there. Adjust your back and your body and open your legs into full butterfly position and goalpost arms, laying your body on the mat. You should be fully relaxed in this position. If this is uncomfortable in any way, you can always place blankets on either side of your knees to create support on your hips, for your hips, I should say. Again, just switching your neck, looking the opposite way as you're still in butterfly half goal post arms. Rising your knees up, releasing your arms from above your head, placing them at your sides. It is now time to fully relax. But first, what I'd like you to do is take your right knee up, place your arms out perpendicular from the body, and pull your right knee over your left hip, creating a supine twist. Relax into it. Take several deep breaths here. When you're ready, adjusting your hips, pulling your knee up, and switching over to the other side. Rising the left knee up and rolling it over the right leg. And looking the opposite way in a supine twist. When you're ready, pulling your legs up again, knees up above, rising your feet up, placing your feet now back down onto the mat. We're going to move into bridge pose or half wheel pose. Pressing down through the balls of your feet, pressing up with your hips, interlacing your hands underneath your body, rising up and bending at the top of the torso spine. You're really engaging your thighs here, pressing your feet down, down, down into the mat. Rolling your shoulders under you. This bridge pose will get you ready for half wheel pose. And full wheel pose, I should say, actually. This is a hard one, but it is so good for the upper body. Releasing the hands, releasing the bum down to the mat, releasing the back down to the mat. Taking your hands and curving them up around your head. Placing them behind your shoulders. Now, if you can press up into wheel pose from here, go for it. If not, you're going to press down, get up onto your head, adjust your hands, and then press up again. Wheel pose is a more advanced yogi pose, but you can attain it even if your wrists don't bend like mine. I'm doing a few little show-off push-up moves here, but please don't try this at home. When you're ready, releasing yourself down, back into bridge, releasing the buttocks down to the mat, and adjusting the feet, pulling the knees up towards the chest, and then straightening the legs. And again, pulling the knees, wrapping your arms around. Give yourself a nice big bear hug. This should release pressure from the back. And now when you're ready, you're going to open your legs up and take your index finger and your middle fingers on both hands and wrap them around those big toes. Pull those knees down by your waist, and we're moving into happy baby. Rolling back and forth is like a nice little lower lumbar massage. And just try to remember what it was like being a baby, reaching back in time and remembering the feeling that it felt to be a child is really important for our mental health, especially with yoga. Releasing the feet, bending the knees, relaxing the hands above the head, placing the feet on the mat. Move to one side and press yourself up into seated position. Easy position. From here, we're going to raise our arms above our head, pressing forward with our bodies and moving the body here. Let me adjust. Hold on. Sitting in easy position or fire log, whichever one you feel you need. We're rising up with our arms above our head and forward folding our upper torso, pulling our flesh out from under our sits bones and moving forward. Bending forward, Hold here for a breath. Did a lot of back work today, so it's important to release the back. Separating the spine allows the synovial fluid to move in and bring nutrients and vitamins into the spine. Gently rising your body back up, raising your arms above your head for one last forward fold. For an extended yogi pose, tent your fingers out in front of you and lift your arms. This will help stretch the triceps and the side body. Breathe into any difficult or tight areas of tension. Bring your intention back into your awareness at this point, walking your body back up, adjusting your body to the center of the mat, It's now time for Shavasana. Shavasana is one of the most important positions at the end of every yoga class because it allows us to integrate all the movement and all the heart pumping and all the energy moving into the body. Stay here as long as you might need. 5 minutes is usually mandatory. Namaste.